Welcome, history enthusiasts, to a journey through time as we delve into the life and legendary exploits of a true American patriot, Paul Revere. Get ready to immerse yourself in a story that is as captivating as it is informative. A story that takes us back to the 18th century, to a time of profound change and revolution. Revere was not just an ordinary man born in 1735, but a figure whose life would become a symbol of valor and resilience. Born in Boston, a city bursting with vitality and ambition, he found himself at the heart of the tumultuous events that would shape a nation. His life, his actions, would be the threads that would weave into the grand tapestry of the American Revolution. His life would become intertwined with the very fabric of the American Revolution. Paul Revere, a silversmith by trade, began his journey in colonial Boston. He wasn't just an ordinary man with a hammer and an anvil. No, he was a master of his craft, the personification of dedication and hard work. He molded silver with an expertise that was seldom seen, turning raw elements into objects of beauty and functionality. His skilled hands manipulated molten silver with the dexterity of a seasoned artist, entrancing those who watched him work. But it wasn't just his craft that set him apart. Paul Revere was a man of exceptional entrepreneurial acumen. He understood the pulse of the market, anticipating trends before they became commonplace. He was the epitome of a businessman, balancing the scales of supply and demand with the grace of a seasoned player. This astute understanding of business, paired with his incomparable skills, marked him as a man of influence within the community. The famed midnight ride. In the quiet hours of April 18, 1775, Revere set forth on an epic, fraught-filled journey. The purpose was simple, yet of monumental importance: to alert the colonial militia of the unforeseen British invasion. In the darkness of the night, with only the moon as his guide, he made his way through the hazardous terrain, carrying a message that would alter the course of history. His valiant act, one of bravery and determination, would be immortalized in an iconic poem penned by Longfellow, aptly named Paul Revere's Ride. This poem, shared across generations, keeps his memory alive, painting vivid images of his daring feat in our minds. His courageous endeavor, fraught with danger yet imperative for the survival of his people, would forever etch his name into the annals of history. A member of the Sons of Liberty, Paul Revere was not merely a messenger, he was a key player in the revolutionary network. He was deeply entrenched in the politics of the time, his role extending far beyond that of a simple courier. His work as a silversmith brought him into contact with a vast array of influential figures, each interaction only further extending his reach and influence. His reputation as a reliable and respected craftsman ensured that his voice was heard and respected within the revolutionary movement. Yet it was not just his profession that allowed him such access. Revere was a man of charisma and intelligence. He used these attributes to his advantage, ingratiating himself with the important figures of the era. His network was vast and intricate, connecting various factions of the revolutionary movement. His communications and interactions often shaped the course of the rebellion, his influence subtly steering the actions of the Sons of Liberty. His unique position in the heart of the revolutionary movement allowed him to act as a liaison between different factions, ensuring a united front against the British oppressors. His connections and influence extended far beyond the realm of silversmithing. Have you ever come across Paul Revere's Boston Massacre engraving? Revere, a name that probably sounds familiar, was a man of many abilities. He was renowned not only for his mastery in silversmithing, but also for his artistry in engraving. His art was far from being solely aesthetic. Each piece carried an intense, profound narrative. Revere's ability wasn't confined to the sphere of silverware making. He leveraged his undeniable artistic prowess to produce gripping political illustrations that depicted the critical events of his era. One such noticeable work is his representation of the Boston Massacre. This was not an ordinary representation. It was infused with a strong political statement. It was a portrayal that brought a tragic event to life, an incident that stoked anti-British sentiment. His artistry was utilized not only to memorialize history but also to actively contribute to its making. Indeed, the Boston Massacre engraving was one that lit the spark of dissent and furthered his contribution to the American Revolution. As the revolution unfolded, Revere's contributions continued. He was more than just a mere participant, he was an active contributor, dedicating his life and skills to the cause of freedom. He served in the military, contributing to the American struggle, displaying valor and courage in the face of adversity. His service wasn't limited to the battlefield. Revere also applied his artisan skills to the manufacturing of vital components, such as the fabrication of copper bolts for the USS Constitution. This vital warship was a crucial part of the early American Navy, and Revere's copper bolts played a key role in its construction. On top of all these, Revere even ventured into the field of dentistry, applying his dexterity and precision in a completely different realm. Such a diverse array of skills was rare, and it showcased Revere's multifaceted talents. A man of many talents indeed. Paul Revere's legacy endures not just in the famous ride, but in the indomitable spirit he displayed throughout his life. This man, whose name resonates through the annals of American history, was much more than a simple midnight rider. Born in Boston's North End in 1734, he was the son of a French Huguenot immigrant who had come to America seeking refuge and prosperity. Revere grew up in the hum of the silversmith shop, learning the intricacies of the craft that would shape his future. His skills as a craftsman were not confined to silver. He was a master engraver and even dabbled in dentistry. He was a jack of all trades, a true embodiment of the self-made American man. During the stormy years of the American Revolution, Revere was a staunch patriot. He passionately believed in the cause of independence and risked his life to further it. His famous midnight ride was a pivotal moment in the Revolutionary War, a daring act of defiance against the British forces. But even beyond his famous ride, Revere was an unyielding advocate for the revolutionary cause. He was active in the political scene, using his influence to rally support for the fight for freedom. He was part of the network of spies and informers known as the Mechanics, who played a vital role in the early stages of the revolution. Revere's life was marked by his unwavering commitment to his beliefs, his resilience in the face of adversity, and his drive to stand up for what he felt was right. He was a man of principle and courage, a true revolutionary in every sense of the word. The story of Paul Revere inspires us to cherish the freedoms we hold dear. So, let us remember the man who galloped through the night, sounding the alarm for liberty. His story is more than a tale of one man's ride. It's a story about the strength and courage of an individual who stood for freedom. The night was thick with danger. The only light was the silver illuminate of the moon as Paul Revere rode through the shadows. He was a man of conviction, spiriting through the hushed countryside, past hidden homes where people slept unaware of the looming threat. His journey was perilous, filled with the uncertainty of what lay ahead. Yet, he continued on, pushing against the chilling winds and the enveloping darkness. He rode with a warning, a message of potential danger that would awaken an entire nation. Paul Revere's journey is a testament to the power of one individual to shape the course of history. It's a narrative that continues to inspire and reminds us of the immense power we hold as individuals. Thank you for joining us on this historical adventure.